feel like I'm in a prison. I'm found guilty for something I can't explain. But they told me, Zara, go there, you stay so long, few months and whatever, and this is how I end up now, being away from my children for such a long time.
The worst day was when she was going to the hospital, and I didn't expect her to go, but she did. And it was very hard for me, especially the children, because we were very close, and today we're still close. And it's hard for the children not to see her every day.
That is what makes it so worse, because I do feel okay, I do, why must I be in such a position? I would have understood if I was now really like sick, laying and whatever, but for me to be up and about and whatever, why must I be in a place like this?
The hardest was to see her go, and after that, for me it was a struggle to do all these things. It's hard to do a woman's work when you come home at night. Maybe the kids were playing, the place are still dirty, and I have to do all that at night. She was a good cook, and I helped her a lot, and we help each other out with the cooking. Sundays, sometimes she rests, then I have to cook.
All patients that have been diagnosed with any of the resistant strains of TB need to be hospitalized. The question of isolation or quarantine is an international thing. It's not a new thing. It's a known practice with infectious conditions that are dangerous to society. Most of the time, patients that need quarantine are usually very sick and needing hospitalization by their very nature of their condition. So it's never a question or an issue that they should be detained or not. See? But now with TB, we're dealing with a completely different scenario where the patient may have a very dangerous strain of TB, yet they can be as fresh as you and me, and you may never be able to detect them or pick them up. So in a sense, that is some form of detention, because patients are not allowed to just leave.
To me, I didn't really feel like I've got TB, like in TB, as you can see, as I am. And I have been even fatter than this before, you see. But the hardest part for me, going through these things, is being away from my children, really. That is the most, I'm losing out on so much of their life as I'm being inside of this place. But because of them, and because I want to protect them, and because they tell me this is the way I need to protect them, I'm prepared to do. I'm prepared to go through all of these things, you see. And but as a mother, it's very hard, really.
When she escaped from, from Joseph Pearson Hospital, she phoned me. I didn't know she was out that time, but she phoned me and said, listen, come up to the Joseph Pearson. And when I got there, say 200 meters from the hospital, here's Helen standing outside with two other persons, and I asked her, why are you out? I'm going home to be with my children for Christmas. That's what she said. I just turned there and they get in and we come out, and the children were very happy to see her. And the very next day, the day before Christmas, that day was a horrible day. How can I describe it now? There was two guys coming with papers, and
when they came to fetch me with the police and stuff, I told them, yeah, you can rather shoot me than take me back to the Josie Pearson.
The problem here is that it's not just them. It's not just about them. It's about their families at home who will have to consent. It's about their communities who will have to consent to being exposed. And until we get that kind of consent from them, then we are forced, and it's actually the responsibility of the department to make sure that we detain them.
an hour later they were here with a police van, and they said to me, she has to go. I think he's a prisoner because he can't do what he like to do. But for me, it's a prison because he can't come out. I loved her very much. I still do. And I don't want to see her, how can I say, explain it now, not being here forever. I needed to come home. I needed to be healed. But we keep our hopes up.
Somewhere.
Don't know him.
Okay. Going back to 1986, we were diagnosing about 100, 150 new TB patients a year. We are right now diagnosing about 150 new TB patients per month. And our policy then was to admit TB patients for the full duration of their TB treatment, which was a full 6 months. They would be having treatment under observation every day and walk out well nourished at the end of 6 months of hospital food and go back home cured. So I can say that probably in the early 90s we really nearly had TB under control. The landscape really has changed. We've seen the HIV epidemic fuel the TB epidemic, and the TB epidemic fuel the HIV epidemic. You started having HIV positive patients, now damaged immune systems, and as the HIV epidemic progressed, TB also progressed together along with it. So that by 2004, 2005, there was no chance that we could admit every TB patient for 6 months. We had to displace patients for new ones coming in. to where we are right now, where the ambulant patients who are walking and talking and okay to go home, they get their TB treatment, they go home the same day. 2005, for the very first time, we had antiretroviral therapy available, and we saw these amazing turnarounds where patients, after being really sick with HIV, now because of antiretroviral therapy made a turnaround. Right. So this was really encouraging for us. But what happened is I had a few patients that really perplexed us. Right. They were on antiretroviral therapy, they were on TB therapy, and they should have recovered, and they weren't recovering. So we put our heads together and we said, what are we up against here? Is it multi-drug resistant TB? About 2 months, 3 months later, I got a phone call from the laboratory in Durban, and it was the microbiologist on the phone, and she said to me, you know, doctor, out of those 45 samples that you've sent in, 10 of them have resistance to every single TB drug that we've tested against. I can just remember the energy just raining through my body. It didn't have the name yet, XDR. We were still thinking, shall we call it highly drug-resistant TB or whatever. We were toying with a lot of names. It did strike fear into us doctors working in the hospital. Patients would come in front of you and then you'd open up their files and you'd see, well, query MDR, query XDR, and you'd kind of move your chair back a little bit and make sure that you're wearing the mask. The implications were so horrific.
I'm one of those first XDR patients that they discovered in the Eastern Cape. XDR is more dangerous than the MDR. And that's the reason why they feel that we must be isolated like we are here. And at first we were about 10, I can't remember the exact amount of people that we've been on this side. And we have been isolated and none of the people on the other side came this side, you see. And so when we didn't go that side, and people were very, very scared to get near to us and stuff like that, and that was heartbreaking. And as time went by, you know, for me now, to be in a place where people die almost every day, you know, and you get so anxious because you think to yourself, am I going to be next and stuff like that? And it was, I can't explain it, you know, I really can't explain the feeling to okay, this one is going, that one is going, and here am I going to be next now? When is this thing going to stop? And it's very frightening, really, it's very frightening to be in a situation like that.
So I think these are really, really tough situations for the patients and the hospitals as well that have to care for them. Because there, with XDR-TB, one really has to make sure that these patients do not infect others, because there is very little left to treat these people that are infected with that.
This TB hospital is a total different ball game to normal hospital. Here we die like flies. 7 months in hospital, not knowing whether things are working, if I'm going to get out. Because once Us as MDR, multi-resistant, yeah. They finished our treatment and the treatment's not working. Then we are sent next door to Sunshine. And that Sunshine, we call it a death hand. Because there, you've got a very slim chance of getting out.
The truth is, with the mortality that we see with XDR, you know, which is very close to 50% of the patients that have been diagnosed, you know. Now, if you're now going to spread out the community, you're actually decimating 50% of that population according to the statistics, you know. And I'm not sure if we actually can take the responsibility of saying, look, we would like to take a chance on that.
Are you okay then? Are you right? I'm all right.
Okay, I'll try this one. But it makes me feel sick, means
Make you feel sick? Did you tell the doctor?
I wonder if I can cut it in, no, it was 400 milligrams. If I can at least take 2 to see.
Take 2 in the morning,
Yeah, just,
then take 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Just try it,
Just to
please.
see how it's working.
Yeah.
I've been, all along I've been on this tablets. No? Side effects of this tablet, terrible. It can give me nightmares and stuff like that.
So, babe.
This tablet makes, you know, it's like you get cramps and stuff and your chest is closing up and stuff like that. Makes you not want to eat. Make your nose and all the time you feel bloated and stuff like that.
And there is not a single reason for defaulting. I think it's a variety of reasons, and it's usually the individual's personal situation that creates this.
When I drink this one, and it's very painful, my lungs is very painful when I use this tablets. And this one, what you call this thing? Moxifloxacin.
Moxiflox.
Oh, it's terrible. This one is really, I'm not gonna, no. So that's the reason why I refuse to take some of these drugs. Because I can't take things that's making me feel worse. You see?
Right now we have the same situation as we had it 40 years ago. We're still using the same medication in the same combination for 6 months, a lengthy treatment, lots of drugs, and we're desperately waiting for new drugs to come along. The second-line drugs are the ones that have also been developed many years ago, so they are either more toxic or less effective. And we are left with those. And that means that the treatment has to be longer. There's more side effects, which makes it even more difficult for the patients to complete the treatment.
I've been drinking all of these tablets since 2006 when I started here, and I've been on all of these tablets. There's been more than this, and nothing has happened. So that's the reason why the other tablets, I refuse them because there's no improvement.
Well, if you are an XDR patient, you've gone through a lot of TB treatment already. To take it intermittently would be the worst case. And taking it intermittently is actually what we call poor compliance, and that is something we never recommend. The danger in this is that one allows the bacteria to develop resistance to that substance, and then one loses that substance from the arsenal of drugs we have available. Now, for the treatment of TB, we need a single pill that you can take once and then you're cured. Well, that's not going to happen probably in my lifetime.
Because they say I must drink my medication, I'm going to drink this now. And all of it went down now. And now I must just wait for the side effect of the moxifloxacin. But it's not nice.
I go visit her now only Fridays and Sundays. If I have enough money for petrol, then I go 3-4 times a week. It's very hard for me. It's very hard. And the fact that children, it affects them at school actually.
Okay, sharp. Right, man.
It's not nice. Really, it's not nice, the situation. It's not fun. And especially this one is most now small, you don't know. I used to play with the others, but he's missing out on a lot of my ways and stuff like that. And even me on his ways. Because it's now growing up without me and what. And I must get used to their ways now, you see. It's like that. But I'm better if I'm an adult, I must understand, but they don't understand these things, you see. And I don't wish this for any mother because it's not nice, really. Is kan filmar, ik is filmar, ik kan staan,
So
is kan,
getting big now, that's why I don't want to be out.
Huh? Is my baby. Ik wil hier mijn eigen. Ik wil hier mijn eigen. Moet je mama selfie. Ik weet het. Dus liever om op vele allemaal. Verstaan? Maar ik wil niet dat jullie met elkaar. Zelfs als je niet lekker voelt, ben je niet aan het zijn. Trek hem niet zo makkelijk voor zeer.
Kom praat.
Dat ik zeg, papa, als je niet lekker voelt. Maar alles gaat nou rijden. En jij moet alleen af, maar nee, wat met de school weer. Ga je van mij beter een rapport brengen next time. Huh? Huh? Ik wil niet jullie mama is kwaad, ik is kwaad. Ik wil niet dat jullie lief is aan elkaar. Nee, jullie alles van eruit. Dus ik ga naar je toe komen. Nee, jullie. En je moet hem afknopen, hoor. Je knoop hem af, dat is mijn kind en je luistert. Ik wil niet naar jullie vinden, hoor. Maar ik wil je moet weten, mama gaat naar je toe komen. Nee, je gaat naar je toe komen, maar als vernomen mama is bij de kant geweest. Hoor. En je weet, als ik bij jullie, ik is altijd lief veel en ik ga altijd denken en ik ga altijd veel op het verstaan. En dat is hoe jullie niet aandrukken. Je bent je maar zo plompen, deze is mijn plompetje. Heb je mijn plompen? Is je nog lief voor mij? Is je lief voor mij, Sarah? Ik is lief voor je ook, hoor.
Narkis.
Nee. Bye-bye, Sarah. Bye, boy. Bye, boy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, baby. Bye, boy. Bye-bye. Makan siapa lagi? To be honest, for now, I have no future because I have no time when I'll be out of Joe's business. For now, I have no future.